Unlike a great double dip, a double dip recession is unlikely, according to a new survey. But why is the economy still stalled? The events over the last month and a half have analysts in a guessing game. Double dip or not? A new survey out says no. While that is good news, it doesn't mean all is right with the economy and where it's headed.
There are double dips, and then there are double dips. One is great to lick, the other has the economy licked.
I won't say it hasn't been scary.
At Salt and Straw in Northeast, owner Kim Malik took a chance on the economy and opened her ice cream shop just a week ago.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, that is good, yeah. Had to get really creative with our financing.
Recent talk of a double dip won't stand in her way.
I figured if I'm going to take a chance right now, I may as well take a chance on myself.
Despite a turbulent summer in the stock market and European banks on the brink, despite it all, a survey of leading economists, while pessimistic, say a double-dip recession is unlikely next year.
The U.S. economy is based on consumption.
Tim Phillips, CEO of investment firm Phillips & Company, says thanks mainly to consumer spending. Main Street is more positive than Wall Street.
We've had retail sales up year over year by 8.5%. Auto sales are up year over year by 6.1%. So it really isn't a sign that the consumer's slowing down significantly.
Good news, but the economy is still far from healthy, growing just 1 to 2%.
That created a sense of fear in the markets.
Creating a fear that continues to drag speeding up the recovery. New home sales in July fell for a third straight month. Job security and even the mention of a possible return to another recession is on the minds of everyone.
And people are still struggling to get by.
Marilyn and Brian McGregor, visiting from Seattle, are trying to stay positive about the future. But a daily dose of bad news takes a toll.
If we can get some positive news out there, I think people start feeling better for themselves.
Bye!
Advice everyone could use.
Now, earlier this month, the Fed pledged to keep short-term interest rates near zero until 2013 to combat economic weakness. But economists in the survey are leery of the Fed's ability to improve economic conditions substantially.
It's up, it's down, it's sideways, it's throwing some people for a loop. And some people believe it's spinning out of control, the stock market. Is this the new norm?
Good evening, Laurel. If it's Thursday, it must be another edition of Stock Market Fear Factor. One day of gains, the next losses. One word, uncertainty, here and abroad is driving Wall Street. The question is this our new reality?
A trip to Oaks Amusement Park is a vivid visual reminder of what the stock market's been doing lately. The ups and downs, the huge swings, throwing investors for a loop and causing more than a little concern about the future.
There's no security and stability, and that shows in the stock market.
Kelly Otis from Woodland, Washington, is more concerned for her grandchildren.
Am I going to be able to help them get into college, have a good future? Are they going to have chances like I had?
The Madera family from Happy Valley is trying to stay positive.
If you look at the historical highs and lows, there's lots of dips, lots of highs, and we're in a little dip right now, and I think we'll come out of it.
Well, it's telling us that there is a lot of uncertainty about the future.
Financial planner David Foster says the market has had deep mood swings lately because the economy is taking much longer to recover. Businesses worried over future earnings and a lack of faith in short-term economic growth.
It's not a new normal in the sense of times like this will pop up every couple of years, every 5 years, every decade.
But Foster says global diversity is the name of the game to succeed.
You're looking out 10 years or 20 years with your stock investments. This isn't anything that you need to be worried about on a day-to-day basis.
However, all of this is little comfort for those trying to plan for the future, not only for themselves, but for those who have yet to even know what the stock market is.
One day it's up, one day it's down. Our kids' future is not looking good to me.
And the wild ride on Wall Street doesn't look like it's ready to end anytime soon.
Even though it's gone on for a few days and may continue for a few weeks.
Now, to put things in perspective, Foster does remind us that in 1987 and 2008, the volatility of the market was much more severe, and it bounced back. Wayne, from the debt ceiling crisis to the free fall of the Dow yesterday, there isn't much confidence as to where the economy is moving. It's created a feeling of more uncertainty for certain.
Is there a light at the end of the tunnel? You know,
We've had to make significant changes in our spending and our
That's in the
lifestyle.
back of my mind, but I don't panic. And
Lunch conversation at the Cadillac Cafe in Northeast Portland.
Oh my God, he knows Joni.
3 great friends, Carol, Denise, and Kathy. Like most,
Absolutely.
they're concerned about where the economy is headed.
more wise with my money. Don't take fancy trips or anything like that.
My husband lost his job after years with the same organization. I lost my job after 10 years, so we were both unemployed for a short period of time.
You just start to think that we're starting to come back, and then it happens all over again.
The fallout from the Great Recession isn't over, many wondering, are we taking one step forward, 2 steps back?
Really, at the end of the day, is a mindset. It's
Tim
about
Phillips,
expectations.
CEO of investment firm Phillips & Company, says what makes our economy tick is consumption.
If businesses feel like consumers will buy their goods and service, they'll go ahead and hire. But if consumers don't feel good about spending their money, they contract and businesses contract.
Phillips says Europe's debt problems and our own aren't helping build confidence. All of this plays slowing even more the already sluggish housing market.
Just in Irvington this week, there's about 5 houses that are going to the county courthouse steps for foreclosure. And
Broker Nick Krautner says fear about the economy is paralyzing for sellers and buyers.
And I think when people are uncertain because they're not sure what's going to happen next and they decide not to make any moves, that certainly hurts the industry.
It does.
For Denise, Kathy, and Carol, 2 words describe the future.
Cautiously optimistic.
And all the experts agree it's jobs that are the solution to bringing back confidence in the economy.
Is the spirit of the season enough to bring shoppers to the city as the Occupy movement continues to disrupt downtown?
With just a week to go before the official start of holiday shopping downtown, retailers are concerned as the Occupy movement continues to march through the city core. There is fear their most important time of the year could be in jeopardy.
From his shop window at Cellini's on Southwest 6th, Tai Gin watches what could ruin his most important time of the year.
I'm thinking it definitely is not going to be good for the holidays.
The Occupy movement's march through the core of the city, protesting big banks, blocked streets and storefronts, and created traffic tie-ups. There's worry with just a week to the official start of the holiday retail season, Occupy Portland could keep people from shopping downtown.
This is going to make it that much worse for, small businesses like us.
Just up the block at Margulis Jewelers,
oh yes, we see it all.
Owner David Margulis is taking a proactive approach. This letter urges his customers not to let the movement keep them away.
And it hurts small businesses, no doubt about it. You can't play a game and pretend it doesn't.
Some shops have locked their doors when occupiers approach.
They've been concerned about vandalism.
Many retailers have added more security.
I think Portland is going to be a city that is going to have to adapt to the fact that this is a viable social movement and it is not going to change until the economy changes.
Shoppers have mixed reaction.
I think it's going to be a mess.
I don't think it has to get in the way of anybody coming down.
Well, it doesn't look like a very safe place to be right now.
Some occupiers say collateral retail damage is unavoidable.
Unintended repercussions is part of one of the deals of being out here in mass.
Just a week ago, the Downtown Marketing Initiative unveiled this year's new pop-up shops and plans to encourage suburban shoppers to the city. More money is now being spent on ads and social media with viral videos.
I love downtown Portland because I can go shopping on my lunch hour.
Snow is a challenge, the recession is a challenge, and this is just one more challenge that I think that the retailers will help overcome.
The Downtown Marketing Initiative is distributing a social media kit to retailers to help them reach their customers on an individual basis. It's hard to think of Nike and not think of the swoosh. It's one of those logos that speaks without words. The design came from a local graphic designer just making her way through college. It was a matter of being in the right place at the right time that created one of the most recognizable brands in the world, now 40 years old.
This design is unmistakable.
It's a Nike swoosh. That is a Nike swoosh.
Looks like the Nike logo to me.
It's one of those logos you know without seeing the name, like Starbucks, McDonald's, Chevrolet.
Design is so fleeting.
But not for the impact this one design has made on the world. 40 years ago, while a student at Portland State University, Nike co-founder Phil Knight, then teaching accounting there, overheard Carolyn talking to a friend. Knight retold the story on Oprah.
And there was a woman there saying, I don't know how I'm going to get enough money for the dress for this prom. And I says, I have a job for you.
According to Carolyn, that's not quite how it happened. Knight actually overheard Carolyn saying she couldn't afford oil painting classes. Knight asked her to design a logo for his new company, Nike.
He wanted it to look like movement. And that's basically it.
But Knight liked the three stripes Adidas was using.
I had to move his mindset away from Adidas because we can't have anything close to that. You know, it has to be different.
Knight settled on what is now the swoosh.
Paid her $2 an hour and she spent 17 and a half hours.
Actually, no. Carolyn spent weeks on different designs. In the end, she just charged for the one design, $35.
He said, well, I don't love it, but it'll grow on me.
After some time, the company awarded Carolyn with some stock.
Phil said, well, we gave her some stock and she's a millionaire today. No. That's another little fact he has wrong.
But what is right? Today, it's a logo with worldwide impact.
Now it's synonymous with the brand because they've done a brilliant job really making that logo very identifiable to their target.
For Carolyn, the swoosh will be her most famous design for however long forever is. Even time has changed Phil Knight's mind about the swoosh, an empire built.
He now has it as a tattoo on his ankle. So it might have not grown on him, but he's wearing it.
And she won. The Nike swoosh wasn't the only logo Carolyn designed. She's done everything from greeting cards to store logos. Now retired, she's enjoyed being a grandmother.